Hi everyone, I'm Rose from North Branch and welcome back to Zoom Storytime. So spring is just around the corner. It's here in just a few weeks actually. The snow's melting, it's getting warmer outside, the birds are chirping again and things are turning green. So today our two stories are going to be all about the changes in the seasons and springtime coming around. So the first book we're going to read is called Finding Spring by Carin Berger. The forest was growing cold. Mama said that soon it would be time to sleep, but all Maurice could think about was his first spring. Spring, 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 he said as they filled up on berries. I wish it was spring right now, Maurice told Mama. Waiting is hard, she said. Right now it is time to sleep. Maybe you'll dream about spring, Mama whispered. Soon she was softly snoring, but Maurice was wide awake. I will go find spring, he said. And off he went. Everyone in the forest was busy. I'm looking for spring, Maurice told Squirrel. Might take a while, Squirrel chittered, turning to bury a large acorn. I'm looking for spring, he told Rabbit. Not yet, Rabbit giggled before dashing into his worm burrow. Deer didn't even look up from her grass. I'm looking for spring, he told Robin. Everything in its time, Robin said. Then she flew south. The woods smelled musky, and there was something new and tangy in the air. I smell spring, said Maurice as he hurried along. Suddenly, Maurice felt an icy sting on his nose. Is that spring? He asked. What do you think landed on his nose? Can you see? That's right. A beautiful crystal landed in his paw. Spring? Ah, it's a snowflake. The crystal disappeared, but soon there was another, and another, and another. Maurice chased after them. Spring was hard to catch. He chased them past dry leaves, past bare branches, and over a frozen stream. All the way up to the great hill. Wow, said Maurice. Spring, spring, I found spring, he sang as he scooped up a bit to take home. Back in the den, Maurice snuggled happily against Mama. He slept and slept and slept. When he woke up, everyone had already gathered in the meadow. I brought you some spring, Maurice announced, but spring was gone. Where is it? He asked. Spring can be hard to find, said Robin. Maybe it's hiding, Rabbit giggled. Deer just blinked. Sometimes you really have to search, said Squirrel. Let's look again, Mama said. So Maurice led them back through the forest. He saw blooming branches and bright green buds. He saw the rushing stream, and everything had changed, and Maurice knew just what to do. "To the great hill," he cried. And at last, there it was. Maurice had finally found spring. The end. Can you go outside and find some spring right now? You can find it in the green of the trees, and the birds returning, and the smell of the grass all around us. Spring's almost here. Next book we're going to read is called The Year We Learned to Fly by Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by Rafael López. That was the year we learned to fly. That was the spring when the rain seemed like it would never stop, and the thunder boomed so hard we weren't allowed to go outside. "Use those beautiful and brilliant minds of yours," my grandmother said. "Lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and believe in a thing. Somebody somewhere at some point was just as bored as you are now." So my brother and I closed our eyes for a few minutes that first day. We weren't stuck in our apartment anymore. We were flying over the city we'd known our whole lives, but it was suddenly different, exploding with every kind of flower we'd ever dreamt of growing. That was the summer we learned to fly, when my brother and I couldn't stop fussing with each other over whose turn it was to wash the windows, feed the dog, clean the kitchen. We fought and frowned and made silent promises to never speak to one another ever again. My grandmother said, "Lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and stop being so mean about everything. Somebody somewhere at some point was just as mad as you are now." So we did. And as the soft wind took us out over the city, past the windows of kids who hadn't learned to fly yet, my brother and I reached for each other's hands, flying and diving and laughing and leaving all of our mad far behind us. That was the autumn our rooms felt too big and lonely, with only us in them, and the darkness coming on so fast. While we hugged ourselves against the too quiet of it all, we remembered that we didn't have to be stuck anywhere anymore. My grandmother had learned to fly from the people who came before. They were aunts and uncles and cousins who were brought here on huge ships, their wrists and ankles cuffed in iron. But my grandma said, "Nobody can ever cuff your beautiful and brilliant mind." So our people learned to fly, she said. They dreamt a thing and made it happen, closed their eyes and flew away home. Lift your arms, my grandma said. Close your eyes and remember someone somewhere at some point had to figure out they could fly. I was the winter we moved away from the building and the block and the friends we'd always known. To a street where the kids looked at us funny and didn't even answer when we asked them if they wanted to play. It's okay, I said to my brother. Someone somewhere at some point had to figure out they were ready for a new thing coming their way. So, like the people who came before us, we lifted our arms even higher, closed our eyes even tighter, breathed in even deeper, and flew the way we'd always known how to. Free as aunties and uncles and cousins who come before us, free as our own beautiful and brilliant minds. For a long time, the kids on the ground watched us. Then one by one, they lifted their arms. One by one, they too learned to fly. The end. So if you're stuck inside, waiting for spring to come, just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine yourself somewhere else, somewhere nice and warm. The birds are chirping, the butterflies are flitting about, and there's flowers everywhere. Hope to see you again next time.